The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Air in The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells.
During the Halloween night of 1938, Orson Welles broadcasted a book called War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. The book was about Martians have invaded Earth and have already taken over half of America. The broadcast was about 45 minutes long, and 6 million people tuned in, and roughly 1 million of them believe it was true. Now, my news reporter, Andrea Rubio, will discuss how people react about the broadcast. Thank you.
Across the United States, there are millions of people in panic. People are putting towels around their heads, scared that Martians will be frying their brains.
This world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's, and yet as mortal as his own. We know now that as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the...
The police department is being flooded with phone calls from people panicking. People are fleeing their homes across the United States. People are putting towels over their head, thinking that their brains will be fried. Some Americans' patriotism escalated to the point where they reported to volunteer to join the army to fight the Martians.
Individuals felt that they were so traumatized that they actually started suing the news company itself, which was CBS, that broadcasted it. Once the event died down and the general populace found out that this broadcast was purely fictional, it actually threw them into an outrage. People had viewed radio as a sort of intimate connection into their homes from the outreaches which they couldn't see, such as presidential speeches from FDR. Because of this, what happened was there were guidelines set down for explicit discernment of what was actual news and what was fiction. This in part was due to the actual fighting that was going on in Europe, and as well, once the U.S. had entered the war during 1941, they did not want the public to be misguided in any which way possible. Because of this actual event in itself, mass media changed dramatically because it was a prime example of the ability of mass media to bring terror to the public and completely altered the message to receiver aspect transmission. This all returns to the fact that we discussed that the illusion is greater than the reality. Though it was explicitly stated many times that this was a fictional aspect, people still found it to be true. There is mass hysteria despite the constant news reports from other stations that did not report this.
In conclusion, what started as a Halloween prank turned into a massive fright.
Boom!
You scared me.
That's why I'll be better.